Hi, I'm Kelsey, creator of In Bloom Felt Studio, and today I will be showing you how to make a felt rose. The PDF and SVG templates are available in my Etsy shop. The link is in the description below. It also includes written instructions that you can follow along with, but this video will show you the assembly only of the cut pieces. The materials you'll need to make your rose are felt. I'm using a high quality wool blend. Choose whatever color you want your rose to be. I'm going with classic red and a green for your leaves. You'll also need fabric scissors, wire cutters, needle nose pliers, 18 gauge wire, 22 gauge wire, floral tape, a hot glue gun, and hot glue. All right, let's get started. The first thing I do when my pieces are cut is separate them into two piles, one with the 6 large petals and another pile of the 17 small petals. Next, take 5 of the small petals and set them aside to create your rose center. We're going to form this into a cone shape, and I recommend practicing this move before you add the glue. So you're going to fold the left hand and the right hand side over, hold with glue to make a nice cone. When I do this, I make 2 lines of glue and then fold over and use that glue that's in place to form the cone. And just hold it so you're pinching more at the top and the bottom is open. Perfect. Next, you're going to take 2 of the other small petals and put them on either side of that center cone, putting the glue on the upper half so that holds a little bit tighter than the bottom, which will retain the cone shape. So pinching it like that. It's more open on the bottom, and then your next piece will go directly opposite. Your next 2 petals will go in between, opposite each other from the first 2. And there is our rose center. So set that aside. Next, for the petals, I like to create a little bit of a curve with them. So how you do this is by twisting the ends of each petal. I usually do 2 or 3 times and really just pull that felt, and you'll see that it creates a nice soft curve. All of these pieces you'll notice have a different ridge line, and that's just to add some variety throughout your rose. So each petal is slightly different. It doesn't matter what order you add them in, but as you begin to twist and create the waves in each petal, keep them separate with the small petals on this side and the large on that side. Okay, so my petals are now ready to be glued on. I'm going to first add 3 petals around my center of my rose. And when I do this, I'm going to just put it slightly above that center. See how it's just a tad bit over, kind of curling outwards. And keep all 3 of these at the same level, overlapping the petals slightly. Okay, so now it's starting to look like a rose. So all 3 of these petals are at the same height. As I add more of my small pieces, I'm going to start moving them slightly lower as I work my way around. So think of putting them on in a downward spiral. So my next piece I'm going to put just slightly lower, and then so on as I work my way down. So do that until you've used up all of your small petals. Okay, so now I've added all of my small petals on, and just want to reiterate that as you move your petals lower, that is a very, very slight difference in height, just enough so that it looks like the flower is opening up. But if you move it down too far, you won't have room for your lower petals, which we'll add next. So just a very slight height difference there. So with our larger pieces, I find it easier if I flip my rose upside down and I add these to the bottom side. The way you're going to glue these is going to look like almost like a triangle shape. You have your 3 points like that. And you're going to space them evenly. That's the biggest trick with this, is just to have them evenly spaced around, which makes it easier when you flip that flower over. So my bottom, I'm going to slightly glue it by folding that edge over my base. And these are just going to be some really lovely petals on the bottom of your flower that really help it to open up. So sometimes, like with this one, I added glue too far down, which is fine, but I also need to make sure that it sticks to the side. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue on the inside and press it. That way it's folded over on the bottom and it's not just sticking straight out. So what you're doing with this is just taking care to glue both on the bottom and the side. Okay, 3 more to go, and you will glue these in the exact same way, just putting each of these petals in the 3 spaces in between that first layer of 3. And voila, there's your rose. At this point, I just use my fingers to pull on the petals and make sure it looks even all the way around. You can push them in, you can spread them out. It's kind of fun just to style your rose however you want it to look. Next, we'll add the stem. To add a stem onto your rose, take an 18 gauge wire and needle nose pliers and pinch the end of your wire. Next, you're going to rotate your pliers around to create a coil. I go around 2 or 3 times, like that. Pull your pliers out and then use them to flatten and position the stem in the center of your coil. Like that. Add glue to the top and then press it on the back of your rose, following with just some additional glue to hold it in place. All right, so that will all get covered up by your leaf. Next, I'm going to set this aside and just prop it up against something so your stem stays upright, and we'll move on to the leaves. For the rose leaves, you'll take 22 gauge thinner wire And use a pair of wire cutters to cut 4 to 5 inches. We'll attach your leaves to this. I'm putting my wire through the center of my leaf, almost to the top. Add a line of glue, and then fold that leaf over, pressing it tightly, and then just keep it in this closed position while we wait for the glue to dry. While these leaves are drying, I'm going to add my base to my rose. So my stem is secure now. Do a little tug and make sure it's not going anywhere. Cut a small hole through your rose base and then slide it onto your stem. As I glue this on, I'm just going to add glue to the bottom half. You can glue all the way up if you want, but I like to leave the ends of my little leaf base loose. And cover up your coil with this as well. All right, next open up your leaves if the glue is dry. Press that wire in the back up to open it up. Now tear off a long strip of your floral tape. So to add your leaves onto your stem, you can put them wherever you like. I'm putting one slightly towards the top, and then I'll put the other one a little bit lower. So get your first leaf ready, and then wrap your first bit of tape very tightly around where that meets, where both wires meet. And I'm going to do about 4 to 5 wraps just to make sure it's really secure. And then you can start to work your way down. Pull that tape really tightly to activate the wax and to make sure that your leaf with the stem isn't going to slip out of there. All right, so you can secure your tape with a dot of glue, or I'm also finding that if I work all the way down with the tape and then I clip it, for some reason my tape doesn't come unraveled anymore. So that's another trick with the floral tape. So there is your rose. Now you know how to make a beautiful bouquet of roses. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and you can also hit that notification bell if you want to stay informed about upcoming tutorials. Thanks so much for watching.